Canadian credit card debt soared in the last 3 months of 2022. Credit monitoring agency Equifax says Canadians' credit card debt increased by more than 15% from the same period a year earlier and totaled more than $100 billion for the first time. Amid rising interest rates and stubbornly high inflation, younger Canadians in particular are relying on credit to make ends meet. Non-mortgage debt levels were up 5.4% in the fourth quarter, but for millennials, that debt rose by 8.4%. Well, for more on this story, we're joined live by Doug Hoyes, co-founder and licensed insolvency trustee with Hoyes, Michaelis and Associates. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Given the state of the economy and people's personal finances, this is obviously shocking, but not too surprising. What's your take on this report?
Yeah, it's not shocking at all. I mean, we had the period prior to the pandemic where our credit card balances were going up, 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 up. And then when the pandemic hit, we were locked down, we couldn't spend money, so our credit card balances actually fell quite a bit. But then the economy opened up, and so now, as you reported, our credit card balances are back even higher than they were prior to 2020. So it's not hard to understand why. Everything costs more, inflation's up, food costs are up, mortgage interest is up, but our wages are not up by the same amount. So how do you fill the gap? Well, a lot of people have no option other than to use credit cards, and that's why credit card balances are going up so high.
Well, let's talk about the outlook for the future, especially when we're talking to, the younger portion of the population, especially when we're talking about millennials whose debt rose up by 8.4%. Once they get in a hole, it's kind of hard to get out of it.
Yeah, and the problem the millennials have, and we're talking about people who are sort of between 26 and 40 years old, is that a lot of them start their working career with student loan debt. Old people like me who went to school 30 years ago, hey, we didn't need big student loans to get through school, where that's not the case today. You're starting your working life off with student loans, and unless you get a fantastic job right out of school, you're playing catch up. And how do you play catch up? Well, you resort to things like credit cards, high interest loans, payday loans, that sort of thing. So yes, it's a problem particularly focused on people with student loan debt, and that obviously would be the millennial generation.
And we're learning that credit card debt for the first time topped $100 billion. And obviously, this is a great cause for concern moving forward. We're just coming out of the pandemic, and it seems as though with the rising energy prices, inflation, that things aren't going to get better anytime soon for a lot of these people who are really knee-deep in debt.
Well, I think that's true, certainly in the short term. I don't see interest rates going down tomorrow. I mean, the Bank of Canada announced this week that they were pausing, but they didn't say they were going to start lowering them. So interest rates are going to be high, which affects obviously what you're paying on your mortgage, but also what you're paying on rent. And that's a big component. And then food inflation is the other one that's really large. So I don't see those things changing, tomorrow. Now, hopefully the supply chains get more opened up, interest rates start to be reduced, and so perhaps over the next year or two, things will ease up. I mean, I can't see the future. I don't know. All I know is that right now costs are high. So we've all got to do whatever we can to keep our own personal expenditures under control in this wave of higher prices.
Doug Hoyes, co-founder and licensed insolvency trustee with Hoyes, Michaelis and Associates. We appreciate your time and perspective. Thank you.